What's up, people? We are finally back with some 1v1s. This is not the 1v1 we need, but it's the one we deserve. Am I saying that right? It is gonna be the clown fiesta between the yellow Terran Kevin Lee and his red Protoss adversary Timbo Slice. Not an unfamiliar matchup, but it has been some time since we've seen it. Both players going to be opening on the low ground. Timbo going to start things off with a little bit of harassment on that SCV, and that's super annoying. Going to delay this barracks by a good like 10 seconds. That is pretty huge. I don't think it was quite 10 seconds, but maybe like 7 or 8. So that barracks is going to be significantly delayed. The first Reaper going to be quite a bit delayed. So Timbo could go Nexus before Core. But he goes for the safety core first. I think that delayed the barracks long enough that you don't have to really rush out a Stalker or a Adept. Is Kevin even gonna go for the Reaper? Yes, he does. We know Kevin does like Marauders in this matchup. Cybernetics core going to be finishing up. So Stalker should be starting soon. He has the money. Hello. Okay, a bit delayed on that Stalker, so that kind of evens out the early game shenanigans. This Reaper on its way now. Second command center being built as well, and we have Kevin producing a tech lab right away on the barracks. Most likely for Marauders because he loves those big boys. And where is that Stalker? I thought he should have had that in time, but oh, the probes! No! They are not able to surround the Reaper, and the Reaper does get away. And it can start regenerating. One kill on that Reaper. That's already pretty decent. Now that Tech Lab is researching stim packs. No unit being made just yet. Army supply for Kevin is still just that one singular Reaper. We do have 2 barracks being produced. A factory as well, and a starport as well. So a lot of buildings being made, and finally we see that Marauder in production. And Timbo going to be producing another Stalker as this Reaper jumps in, gets a little bit of information there, sees the robotics facility, and it is gonna get intercepted by the Stalker. But I think that was a good Reaper. It got 1 probe kill. It scouted the main base here, sees that it is a robotics facility, so Kevin gonna be comfortable knowing there is no Stargate or Dark Shrine. And we still just have this one Marauder over here. Oh, is there another army unit somewhere? His army supply says 4. Oh, now it says 6. I guess it counts the in-production units. So we do have a medevac tank and Marauder in production now. Quite the motley crew of units there. Observer going to be floating on in. And does Kevin see this? The Observer was changed recently, making it a little bit bigger. So it's a little bit easier to spot that. However, Heaven doesn't even have anything that hits air. It's just gonna be Marauders for now. Missile turret is in production, so I guess Kevin did spot that. Loads up the medevac, not sure why. Gotta be a mistake, right? He's gonna unload them back. Timbo gonna be the first to start a third base over here. We do have no, I thought that was something else. And Timbo making a lot more buildings. 3 more gateways on the way. Have a small warp in of a few zealots here. Timbo does have +1 attack. Researching Blink as well. So 3 zealots, 4 stalkers. Not really warping in too many additional units. Which is kind of a waste of your production cycle, because all that time at these warp gates just hanging out, that means your army is going to be a bit smaller. And here's that Marauder drop. 4 Marauders is kind of an awkward little drop. And picks up, but the Stalkers don't quite have Blink yet, so Medevac going to be able to get away. Probably. Yes, they do. Kevin also going to be taking his third now. Kevin with a lot of money in the bank. Timbo, curiously enough, going to be spending his money a little bit better there. And now Kevin starts off a lot of stuff. Using up his bank there. Did he just queue up a bunch of stuff? Yeah. There's no way he spent all that money. But he does have 4 Marauders queued up there. 5 tanks queued up there, and this is suboptimal because this spends your money, but you're not actually using it. So it looks like you are, but you're still only just making 1 tank at a time. And Kevin now rocketing back up in the minerals because he just doesn't have enough production. We see this a lot from Terran players sometimes. Low-level Terran players don't have enough production facilities. And it's just going to be 3 barracks, 1 factory, 1 starport. Off of 3 bases, soon to be 4. Meanwhile, Timbo Slice, he's got 6, 7, 8, 9 gateways. 2 robotics facilities. That's not bad. And 2 forges on top of that, researching. Kevin does have a double engineering bay as well. Does have 1, but only getting +2 weapons and not armor. I wonder if that was a misclick or what. Looks like Timbo now going to be moving out. Army supplies pretty even. Kevin just made a few more stuff, so he shoots ahead a little bit. But all in all, pretty even in all supplies. Now, these 2 Colossus are going to be pretty important as a triple scan goes down. I'm going to spot 0 army. So Kevin might be able to sniff this out, but it is too late. The Protoss army is already here. And can Kevin even take this on with all these tanks? Maybe, but they are not sieged. And the command center does go down before Kevin can really mount his defense. So only, I think, 1 single zealot losing its life there. This one gets bruised up. But 19 SEVs go down, the base goes down, and that's a pretty big pickoff for the Protoss player. Let's take a look at the units lost. Just 1 probe and 1 zealot, and now 1 observer as the scan goes down. But I think the Protoss are pretty firmly in the lead right now, as you can see by the units lost info there. Now, Kevin Lee gonna be moving out for a counterattack of his own, sieging all his tanks, and he's gonna start breaking down these rocks. And oh, huge unsiege there, but unable to take advantage of it is Timbo Slice. And now Kevin re-sieges up. I don't think you want to go into this, but let's see how it goes. The front line has all been pretty much wiped out, and now these Colossus gonna go down, and I think Timbo's just gonna die here. What a crazy YOLO attack from Kevin Lee. Kind of just pulling his entire army, sieging them all up, and gonna be taking out... Oh, not gonna be taking out this base, but might be taking out Timbo in this game, taking out the pylon to cancel that warp in. Timbo, he's got even supply, but his army count just nowhere to be seen. Just a few zealots, a few stalkers, and we will have to see Timbo Slice tap out imminently. He's gonna try to buy time for these Colossus, but here comes the Bio army. They depower one of the Robos even. And perhaps now is when Timbo decides to leave the game. Oh, Colossus does pop out. Is there a hope? Nope. It gets blown up right away. 0 micro there out of Timbo Slice. And we should finally now see a GG. Okay. I guess not. Some hero zealots show up, but this tank still denying this base, and now reinforcements have arrived. We have 42 army supply from the Terran to the 13 from the Protoss. Surely this game cannot go much longer. But let's see. Kevin floating so much money. What are you doing? And likewise, Timbo also with a lot of money in the bank. He's trying to rebuild his bases. Cannot even repower this poor forge. And here comes Kevin, sieging up his one tank. He's got 2 Widow Mines in the mix as well. Scan goes down, takes out the Observer. And now Timbo gonna be in the dark. All he has are zealots. Will that be enough? I don't think so. Somehow this medevac stayed alive this whole time. Now can join forces and help with the healing there. And all of a sudden Timbo's army doesn't look that bad. He's just gonna charge in. Blink in as well. Second tank not sieged up. 1 Widow Mine does fire, but that's about it. And all of a sudden, what are we seeing, folks? Oh my god! And a huge cleanup from Timbo, taking out all the frontal army of Kevin Lee, save for these 2 Widow Mines. This one here did fire and take out 1 Zealot, I think. And oh, the second one's gonna get a probe! Oh, that's so sad. Now, oh, second one fires again. But this is a crazy game. I thought it was over. And maybe if Kevin did a little bit better job spending his money, it would be. But look at this, 2,300 minerals, 2,800 gas. What is going on? The Protoss has the supply lead right now. This is absolutely bonkers. We've got all these buildings not making anything. And Timbo looks like he wants to go for the counter offensive here. And he's going to spot that this base was never retaken. And is he going to charge in? That's a little crazy. But he does. Charges in, blinks in, takes a ton of tank shells to the face before he backs up. Maybe gonna look for another angle as Kevin does re-siege his liberators into this crazy Venn diagram shape. Now what goes into each field here? I do not know. Widow mines just waddle into the natural and they take out 6 probes. That's super annoying. But here's the observer. At least Timbo will be able to take those widow mines out. They have been a menace. 6 kills and 3 kills there. Now Kevin's doing a great job expanding down the left side of the base. But look at this money. What is you doing, boy? He's got 4 barracks with reactors here. So many Marines queued up. Just make more barracks. Make more starports. Yeah. Get more stuff. Look at all these queued up Marines. Terribly inefficient. But we do have a couple of factories out on the front lines, actually. And Timbo also going to be expanding in a line. And somehow, this game is advancing into the later stages of the game. We've got Storm moments away from finishing. +3 attack, +2 armor for the infantry. 1-2 on the vehicles as well. Archons starting to take the field. Quite a lot of them. Holy moly. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Archons. But it's a similarly formidable army for the Terran player. In fact, both players' supplies fairly even here. I think we need some more tanks. Some big splash damage units. Another scan goes down. Good awareness by Kevin to spot that little blip in the skies. Kevin now taking bases 5 and 6. This one actually just his main base floating on over. Didn't quite finish these minerals, but there's only 280 there. So probably more worth it to just get a new base. Kevin trying to go for some Liberator harassment. Gets sniped out of the sky. Lickety split. And this base is actually not being utilized whatsoever. Drop some mules. Maybe make a few more SCVs. Got another 3 Liberators moving out. Let's see if they're going to be able to find some damage. Kevin has switched into Thors. Now, I don't think Thors are really that great against what Timbo has. They'd be pretty good against a Skytoss carrier Tempest army. But I don't know about mostly gateway units. We'll have to see how that goes. Liberator harassment gonna go down. 10 probes killed, but here comes the Protoss attack. Gonna get deflected. Do not want to walk into this tight choke point. And Timbo taking a lot of damage there. Looks like he still wants to pick a fight though, and Kevin gonna comply, venturing very far away from his siege tanks. This is gonna go quite well for the Protoss player, I think. Colossus is going to be melting down the front line bio units, but a wayward rally going to take a lot of tank fire there as Timbo's supply plummets to 74 while Kevin's still standing strong at 117. A big miss rally with the reinforcements just walking forward into this terrible valley of death here. And now Kevin with a firm supply lead, 123 to 85. What was a very strong Protoss lead in the early game is now a Protoss deficit. But I think Timbo, honestly, lucky to be here, considering that huge attack from Kevin earlier. Can Timbo find some more magic? He does have these 2 big balls, and we all know big balls can lead to big victories. Have to see how those connect onto Kevin's squishy flesh here. Five more High Templars in the way, going to be converting those into Archons. I don't think he ever kept any High Templars for Storms, although he did research it. I think he should have kept a few for Storms. Storm's obviously a very potent ability in this game. But things looking a little bit grim here for the Protoss once again. Kevin gonna be quite ahead in supply. Lots of Thors here. Scan goes down, gonna spot the Protoss army. Sieging up 2 tanks here, and I don't know if Timbo saw that, or he just decides to back off. But I think you just jump on those 2 tanks. That could be a small pick-off victory. Kevin now going for +3 vehicle weapons. That's going to make these tanks and Thors very powerful. Timbo sitting on 333, so his upgrades quite nutty as well. Kevin going to be loading up a 2 medevac drop. 1 full of Marines, 1 full of Marauders. Going to be going into the main, it looks like. No, there's no workers in the main, but a lot of important tech. So let's see how that fares as the Protoss going to be going in for a big attack. Kevin was a bit out of position, but he does bring his Thors back. First 2 disruptor balls, damaging 1 Thor quite significantly. Here's the drop. Gonna split off 3 Marines just to pick off some buildings in the main, while the rest of them go to the natural, forcing out a recall out of the Protoss. And I guess this is eventually going to be a cleanup. Evan does lose 2 medevacs of units there, but he does buy time for himself, and with all these bases, the more time that passes, the better it is for Kevin, who is already in a prime position in this game. And Timbo going to be moving out once again. Now the thing is, all these Thors, I don't know how good they really are going to be. You can see they're a bit clunky, and I think they just died to mass zealots. But Timbo is quite poor, so I don't know how that's going to work out. Timbo at the same time going for this 6th base, I think. I don't know what number this is, and Kevin kind of taking the long way around. Might be able to intercept, and here comes the Thors. And you see all the ones in the back, look, they can't even fire. They're just kind of derping around. Balls of Timbo just keep flying out, dealing damage. And you can just back up and avoid this army. Scan going down, takes out 1 observer. Can the second one get away? It looks like yes. And oh, it looks like Timbo wants to make a stand, and here we go. Lots of zealots in this army. Couple big balls coming out as well. And look at this. The zealots just chop up all the Thors. This is crazy. And all of a sudden, Kevin's supply taking a nosedive down to 95. And I just don't think Thors are the answer. And now we have Timbo Slice with the big supply lead, and he is pressing forward. What does Kevin have? 3 tanks and 2 Thors. Is that going to be enough? Another Thor and 1 more down there, but this Protoss army looking very scary. Kevin inching his tanks forward, does get them sieged up. A little bit of indecisiveness there by Timbo, sending out 2 balls that kind of whiff. but he does take out that PF, and he does back away with most of his army. Supply counts once again evening up. Timbo with the bank lead now. And once again, the game kind of swinging into the other player's favor as Timbo Slice holding all the cards, it seems. Kevin down to only 2 mining bases. Should probably float this natural somewhere else and try to take more bases to the north or south side, I guess. But you probably don't want to be too close to your opponent. Kevin loading up another triple medevac drop. I feel like he should go for some kind of double prong, kind of draw him here and drop here. I don't know. But the main Protoss army not terribly far from this drop. It looks like Timbo is going to be reacting. Sixth probe's going to go down. Some Marines do get left for dead here. Kevin going to pick up, drop back into the main. Just going to get a few buildings here. It's like Timbo had a similar idea with the warp in, but he is scrambling on the defense here. Just a few medevacs buying so much time for Kevin. Big warp in the main, and Kevin's just going to fly away. Look for another angle or just hide. So medevacs run out of boost and the stalkers hot on their tail, but the medevacs do get away. They do drop into the third. Nothing really to kill there. So a few more Marines going to be left for dead once again. And Kevin once again looking for another angled. Sees a cannon over there, decides to get away, but oh no, flying into range of these stalkers, and all 3 medevacs gonna go down. That is a sad sight to behold. These 2 Marines do not want to live anymore. They're just... what are they doing? Here comes Timbo. Army supplies kind of even, but Kevin just going nutso on the Thors. I don't think this is the right call. Yet another command center falls. And these Marines weren't suicidal. They were defecting. Look at them. They're just hiding out in the bushes over there while this big fight going on. What is happening? Where are these Terran forces going? I think they want to go for a counterattack, as here comes that Warp Prism harassment. 2 balls gonna take out a couple of Thors. And all these 2 Marines could not avoid the battle. They do get cleaned up. Yep, they do get cleaned up. But this is Kevin's last stand. And the Marine's going to go into the natural. They're going to find a few buildings, perhaps. We've got 3 siege tanks only. And this is getting wild. We've got counterattacks going everywhere. And here's the main fight. Zealot's going to be charging in, but the 3 tanks worth their weight in gold right now. As Timbo just doesn't have enough to engage, but maybe with this huge Zealot warp in, it will be. Go from multiple angles. Go send a few up there, send a few down here. I don't think it really matters though. As the Zealots do charge in, they do chop up most of the Thors. These tanks still dishing out quite some significant damage, but I don't think it's going to be enough. All the Thors have gone down, all the Marines have gone down, and all that's left are these 3 siege tanks. Can't believe they're still alive. But Zealots absolutely ripping apart the Terran base. We have a few additional units over here, but will it be enough to contend with this Protoss army? Well, if the tanks siege up, but no, they do get taken out, and surely now, finally, we are gonna see the end of this game. And GG does indeed get called. Oh my goodness, what a crazy game, folks. Welcome back, and wow, what a dookie of a game number one. It seemed like the Protoss was way ahead after that early attack, and then it seemed like the Terran was way ahead after the counterattack, and then somehow the Protoss swung back ahead. What a crazy game. Of course, the Terran did also go for a pretty bad unit composition, and here he is, that said Terran. It is the yellow Kevin Lee, and his opponent pulling a rabbit out of a hat in that last game, the red Protoss, Timbo Slice, who is going for the main base wall, as is the Terran actually. So already going to be a slight deviation from the last game. No probe scout this time around. That means no harassment of this building SCV. And cybernetics core on the way. Reaper in production as well. Looks like Nexus gonna be dropping on down. All quiet on the western front. We do have a factory follow-up for the Terran player. Second refinery gonna be in production. We'll see what Kevin's game plan is this time around. Hopefully we don't see mass doors once again. Second command center gonna be in production as well. It's the Reaper gonna be jumping on in, but Stalker is ready. So the Reaper just gonna take a peek at the natural and back up. Starport can follow up. So no additional units, by the way. Now, wonder if this is going to be some kind of mine drop. We did see recently that Timbo's Zerg is quite susceptible to mine drops. Let's see if his Protoss is as well. Of course, we don't even know if that's going to be the play yet. Kevin's Reaper ran all the way home. Now is going to go all the way back. Gonna hop into the main. Gonna spot that robotics facility in these two buildings. It's a gateway and a Twilight Council. Now, did Kevin click on them is the question. Looks like not gonna be Widow Mine drops. Instead, gonna be Hellions and a Banshee with Cloak as well. Don't think that's really going to be too effective, as Timbo does already have an observer popping out, but he doesn't have too many units on the ground. And in fact, did he forget Warp Gate? Oh my goodness, I think he forgot Warp Gate. Look at these, they're still gateways. Oh no, and he's not even producing out of them. This is so bad. When is he going to realize all he has is this one Stalker? We have an Immortal on the way, but that's going to be useless against a Banshee. And finally he realizes, starts that up and Chrono Boosts it, but this might be too late. 6 Hellions making their way across the map, as well as a Banshee. Now, did this observer spot it? And does it even matter? Because Timbo doesn't have much stuff. Immortal does finish, and that's going to be a small saving grace, perhaps. I don't know. I think Kevin could have got some more damage done in the natural, but he goes into the main, and there's a lot of probes for the pickings there. 12 going down so far. And Banshee showing up as well could provide some supporting fire. 4 Hellions still alive. Gonna get, well, not a whole lot more. 13 in total. Not really microing the Hellions, but here comes the Banshee. Gonna add onto that kill count. And where is the observer from Timbo? It's over here on the other side of the map. He never pulled it back. Should recall that. You don't want to wait for the second one to come out. But looks like more probes gonna go down in the meantime. Observer does pop out, but the only thing that shoots up is one singular stalker. Warp gate did finally finish. We have a second Banshee as well. Maybe getting another few probes there. And oh, is it gonna go down? Oh, cloak. Okay, let's activate the cloak. And now that all's said and done, Terran player gonna be up by 10 supply. He is floating a lot of money once again, but he is also up 20 worker supply. Does mean, however, that the army supply going to be favoring the Protoss. And now he does finally have his warp gate technology. He's going to slowly but surely try to probe back up. And is this just going to be a Banshee army out of Kevin Lee? That's a little bit bonkers. We all know how much Timbo adores his stalkers, but only 6 as of now. He is focusing more on the eco side of things. 2 additional stalkers being warped in, and more Hellions in production. That's interesting. Hellion Banshee, not really a composition in this matchup. We do see it for harassment at times in TVZ. And yeah, just gonna be more Banshees, more Hellions, it looks like. We do have a 3rd starport, not using that despite his big bank. And did he get Banshee speed? No, he did not get Banshee speed. Now, if you go for this many Banshees, you surely want Banshee speed. I don't know if Kevin even knows about that upgrade, but it makes your Banshees so fast, it is quite ridiculous. You can oftentimes just outrun your opponent, and that would be quite helpful against Blink Stalkers, but Kevin not getting them. Hyperflight Rotors, that's the name of the upgrade. Pretty cool sounding name as well. Double scan, triple scan going down, and does not spot the army. So Kevin, does he know that Timbo is going for an attack here? No real movement out of his army, and there's quite a lot of stalkers in this. And here they come. How's it gonna go? The Banshees do activate their cloak, but we do have observers. But Timbo doesn't want to fight? I don't know. I guess he doesn't really have enough stalkers, at least not anymore. This is such a crazy composition. This gonna work out. I cannot believe my eyes. Kevin gonna be taking game number 2. Welcome back, folks. This is game number 3. I just realized I didn't set the scoreboard in the last game, but we are all tied up one apiece between the yellow Terran, Kevin Lee. Went for a very weird build last game, Hellion Banshee, but it worked out. And his red Protoss opponent, it is Timbo Slice. Got an early SCV coming out for Kevin. Looks like he wants to get a little cheeky. But we do have a probe scout coming out for Timbo. Does spot that SCV. Was he paying attention though? And probe gonna make its way in. Gonna spot no barracks, and that should set off some alarm bells. What is Timbo gonna be doing now? How do I set? Oh, there's his vision. Does send a probe to make a forge. Very smart. It's gonna give him access to cannons. It is gonna be 2 barracks for Kevin. Gas is actually too late for Reapers, so is it just gonna be Marines, or did he totally bungle this? And we're gonna be walling up the front. Should be getting a second pylon in the main. There it goes. Kind of an odd spot. I would have liked to see it closer to the Nexus to protect the probes. And oh, this is so cool. Kevin going to be lifting the barracks into the main base of his opponent. That is cool. We have not seen that before from any of our players, I think. So Timbo going to be totally unaware. He is walling up the front, setting up a cannon there. But here's the Terran army. They're going to just be in the Protoss base already. Kevin is mining gas now. Now I wonder what that's for. But he is collecting more and more Marines. And Timbo still unaware. And all he has is a single stalker right now. Kevin continuing to pump out Marines. And what's going to be the magic number? He has 6, and looks like that's the magic number. In they come, and let's see how Timbo's going to react. He pulls all his probes to the natural. Pretty slow camera movement here, and no reaction. Look at that super slow reaction out of the stalker. And oh no, where's the stalker going? And GG gets called. Kevin taking the cheeky game number 3. Welcome back to game number 4. We're looking at the main base of the yellow Terran, who went for a cheeky proxy barracks liftoff into the main last game. It's the yellow Terran, Kevin Lee. And his red Protoss opponent, who got caught with his pants down. It is Timbo Slice. Pretty cute, cheeky build from the Terran player last game, and Timbo's reaction probably not the best. He did identify early on that there was no building barracks, so he should have gotten another cannon in the main. This time, he scouts, does see the barracks, so should know he is going to be pretty safe in the early game here. Both players just opening up pretty standard here. Timbo with the low ground. We should be seeing the cybernetics core and the Nexus shortly after. We do have a standard Reaper opener here for the Terran. And let's see if he follows up with a factory, as he does tend to like to do. Timbo does like to place his second pylon out in no man's land. I usually prefer it closer to the base, but I guess either way works. We do have the Reaper making its way across the map now. Stalker being chrono boosted out. Have a fairly fast CC for Kevin. Tech lab on the barracks as well, but nothing being done with that just yet. Big reaction from Timbo. No, doesn't get that Reaper, and costs him a lot of mining time. I don't think that's worth it. Look at that income advantage for Kevin Lee for the past, I don't know, what is that, like 10 seconds or so? Maybe even more. So, yeah. It's pretty costly. Might not think of it, but 20 or so probes not mining. Pretty significant. Pretty significant. We do have another barracks and factory in production for Kevin Lee. And this time it's gonna be a Stargate out of Timbo Slice. Is it gonna be Void Rays or an Oracle? I'm leaning towards Oracle. But let's see. Phoenix not really a thing in this matchup. I would be shocked to see that. There's gonna be an Oracle. And that could be big. Kevin not getting any units that shoot up, which is a little bit surprising because the man with the gun is so incredibly powerful. One of the best units in the entire game. 50 minerals. He shoots low, he shoots high. What's not to love? Big scan going down, spots that Stargate, and now Kevin has about 10 seconds to mount his defenses. He starts up 3 missile turrets, and will they finish in time? I think just barely, yes, especially if Timbo just waits here. And that's a big scout out of Kevin. A wayward Stalker, not sure what he was doing, but does get picked off there. Oracle pokes in, but has to poke back out. Probe over here as well. I don't know what's going on in this game. But that scan, absolutely money. Otherwise, we would have seen at least 10 SCVs going down. As it stands, Timbo not really able to get the type of opening that he was looking for. And he was just going to settle for a Constellation 3rd base here. But his army very low right now. Just going to be this Oracle and Observer, I think. 3 more stalkers just finishing up there. Meanwhile, for the Terran player, it's going to be Marine Marauder Medevac, classic unit composition. Wouldn't mind seeing a few mines mixed in as well for the MMMM. Reactor going to be in production for that starport, so you can start to crank out double medevacs. And this observer going to have to be careful or it's going to fly into the missile turret. Timbo is paying attention. Now, is Kevin paying attention? Looks like maybe? Looks like he was moving to try to intercept, but ends up not doing so. Observer going to find its home above the third base, and is Kevin going to spot this? He is going to be producing 2 missile turrets there as well. This poor Oracle never got to go on its killing spree. It is just going to chill here for perhaps the rest of the game. And looks like the SCV of Kevin stuck behind the army. And finally, those infantry units do move. Another scan going down on the third base of Timbo, so Kevin is going to be aware that he is a little bit behind in the economy front. In fact, pretty significantly behind, actually. 60 to 47 workers. And looks like that observer did get picked off there in the front of the Terran base. Third command center is done, but not morphing into an orbital. Instead, queuing up 5 SCVs. You need more production. Terran players, stop doing this. Oracle flies in to take a look. Is deflected by missile turrets. But yeah, Terrans, why you do this? 1,200 minerals in the bank. Just get a few more barracks, get a few more factories, get more starports, whatever you need. Please. And please, morph your command centers into orbitals. It pays for itself after 1 mule. And he does finally do that, but very late there. Kevin going for a big doom drop. And where's the reaction from Timbo? Does move his units. Kevin not really focusing probes. And it might be a little too late to pick up now as the stalkers have blinked. So all these units going to be essentially forfeit. How much can they pick off in the meantime? Looks like a lot, actually. It's with the stims and the medevac healing. And, taking out the pylon to cancel the warp-in as well. That is pretty significant. Kevin with a 30 supply lead. Is he going to be able to roll this on through into a victory? It looks like maybe with the warp-ins, no, just barely not going to be enough. But Kevin lacking on the macro department. 3,000 minerals back at home. And you gotta maintain your macro when you go for these attacks. That looked great, but it could be so much better if you had more production, if you were spending your money, getting upgrades, advancing your tech, doing more stuff. But as it stands, 90 to 99 supply is still fairly even. And yeah, 50 probes to 55 SCVs, so not a huge lead for the Terran. Timbo still kind of struggling to rebuild for some reason. He's got a lot of money. He's got 3 full energy almost Nexus. He's not producing any probes. He's kind of just flailing around, it seems. But supply counts still even. Kevin finally getting a few additional production facilities. Expanding, double expanding actually. That's one way to spend your money. Get more stuff as well. Get more starports. Timbo also taking another base. He has restarted probe production only on one Nexus for some reason. And it looks like things are gonna quiet down once again. Another observer. Gonna maybe scout. Okay, yeah, does move in, does spot this fourth base. And we'll see the unit composition for the Terran player has not changed. We do not see any splash damage. And the longer it goes without splash damage, the scarier it's gonna be. A little bit of indecisiveness on the attachments there. And looks like Timbo now gonna be the one looking for an attack. And he has a buttload of zealots in this army. A couple high energy, high Templars as well. Triple scan goes down, spots no army. But Kevin, a little bit slow to react. They're going to be losing this base super fast. It looks like Timbo just content with that damage. Going to be backing up. Luckily, Kevin does have this other base on the right-hand side of the map. Double Liberator harassment on the way into this new base of Timbo. Not too many probes here just yet, so only going to be able to get, well, it's like 4 kills so far. Second Liberator does make its way into the natural, and this is pretty annoying. Another 3 probes going down at the natural there. And oh, this Liberator not long for this world, but decent Liberator harassment there from Kevin, keeping his opponent at bay, while he himself just continues to mass up his army. Lots of idle workers here. Oh my goodness, another thing you hate to see from these low-level Terran players, just a bunch of idle workers. Look, another one here. Looks like that's it for now, but that's a lot. The 63 is closer to 53. Look at these guys just slacking in the job. You know they're American. And oh, big stim out of Kevin. And oh my goodness, the storms! And oh, another huge storm. You gotta be mindful of these storms. It does so much damage to your own units. And oh, the Protoss army is able to clean up the Terran defenses. We do have 6 additional Marauders. Are they gonna be enough to push this back? I guess? Yeah. Timbo doesn't have any reinforcements. A big criticism for his Protoss play is that he never brings a Warp Prism to reinforce his attack. Maybe if he had a Warp Prism down here somewhere and just able to spend this bank, maybe he could have won right then and there. But forced to warp in all the way over here. And so this game gonna continue on yet again. And just more of the same here from Kevin. That's a little bit concerning. I would like to see Ghosts, perhaps. Widow Mines, perhaps. Widow Mines would be fairly decent against this number of Zealots. And of course, Ghosts are just great against Protoss. They take out all the shields. They can take out the energy from the High Templars. But they are difficult to use for a low-level player such as Kevin Lee. So it's just going to be more Marine Marauder Medevac. Another triple scan going down. This observer has been alive and kicking for quite some time. Kevin not on top of his blip spotting this game. Upgrades only 2-2 for the Protoss. 3-2 for the Terran, soon to be 3-3. Looks like Protoss is going to be moving up along the left side of the map now for another attack. And keep in mind, he has this vision, so he knows the Terran is a bit out of position. Going to be able to jump onto this base and take it out right away before the Terran can even show up. And oh, he just walks into the storms. Oh my goodness, the infantry sustaining some massive losses. Another big stim taking out so much HP from these Terran units. These 4 Templars dropping more storms onto the bio units. Kevin's supply absolutely plummeting. 195 to 126 now for the Terran. And things are looking pretty grim for Kevin Lee. Timbo does back up once again. Maybe a little bit too passive here. I think he could have just won the game there. We did see that he had a 70 supply lead, but Timbo opting for the safe route. Can't really fault him for that. And now he is looking for yet another base to take out. Kevin once again super out of position. Going to be losing this expansion. 17 more workers go down, and I think with that, Kevin's hopes and dreams of winning this game go down with it. Building placement kind of wonky over here, and the bio units can't really get a good angle. And the Protoss gonna take out another base. Well, yeah, they did take it out. 2 more big storms. Another 2. The bio units just melting to the storms and the 2 Colossus. But once again, where's the Warp Prism? There are no reinforcements for Timbo Slice as his bank goes up to 5,000 minerals. Oh my goodness. But he does warp in back at home. Maybe some more production could be helpful for the Protoss as well. But he is quite significantly in the lead. 183 to 101 supply, 68 workers to 19, 115 army to 86. And I don't think it will be possible for the Protoss player to throw the game from this point on. I know we're talking about Timbo here, but I don't think even he could mess this up. And just a very disappointing play out of Kevin. Just going for suboptimal units. And we're just gonna have to watch the slow death of Kevin. Kevin Looking like Anakin Skywalker after he got his legs chopped off. Just crawling on the ground, all angry at Obi-Wan. But I do not think Kevin will be able to turn into a big bad Darth Vader. But this is his one hope. Just a billion Marauders and a dream. But I think the lack of splash damage is going to be too great as the storms blanket the Marauders, the Colossus, shooting their big pew pew beams. And these Marauders forced to hobble away, but they're just too slow. The medevacs get picked off. And this should be the end for Kevin Lee in this game number 4. As Timbo Slice is going to be jamming his big Protoss death ball down the throat of the Terran player, who stims all his units once again, but they do not have any more healing. And GG does get called. We are tied up 2-2.